Teemo Fizz. This deck, like many of the decks that we play here, is a viewer submission. This deck is trying to do a couple of different things. So at the bottom end of the curve, we've got Fizz, who grants himself elusive when you play spells and protects himself, as well as Teemo, who's a cheap elusive threat, and Poro Cannon, which generates us 2 cheap elusives. So on top of those, we also have bigger things like Zap and Wiggly Burblefish here as more expensive elusive threats. We also notably have 3 copies of Suit Up here, which costs 2 the turn you draw it. So one of our better openers with this deck is going to be playing one of our 9 elusive cards on the first turn of the game, and then utilizing Suit Up on the second turn if we manage to draw it to push lots of damage. This is notably a permanent modifier, so when you draw this on turn 2 following an elusive threat, it gives you a really powerful threat that's good at closing games out ASAP. And then the rest of this deck is other utility cards such as Mystic Shot and Get Excited, which can be used to play to the board a little bit or give us extra reach in the late game because these can damage the opponent's Nexus directly. And then we have Rising Spellforce here as a way to win combats as well as push damage with the +4 attack and quick attack for 3 resources. So the rate on this when paired with elusive cards is very good. Pushing 4 damage for 3 mana is a very good exchange rate for us on average. We also have other effects like Pick a Card to let us kind of filter through our deck. And then at the very top end of our curve, we have which might be ambitious, but we're leaving the cheeky one of in here, Mind Meld. This sets all allies' power and health to the number of spells you've played this game. So if you Mind Meld, it can set all of our elusive units up to very large attack and push through that big burst at the end as kind of a finisher. I'm interested to see how many of the games where we draw this card, does this feel necessary, as opposed to just being an extra kind of clunky thing that we don't really need. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. The most direct comparison to other decks that we played a lot of Zoe Fizz. So I'm interested to see if the Teemo and PNZ cards feel better or worse than that. Honestly, it's a pretty solid 1-2-3 curve here, huh? Aftershock kills both their champions too. I think we're actually just keeping all of this. We don't really have any cheap spells currently to trigger Fizz with. This can fix that for us, which is nice. Then the question becomes, do I want to play Cask Salesman to attack with next turn, or do I want to play Fizz and trigger it with the Ignition to get in there? Probably Fizz with the Ignition, honestly. We'll see what we draw here, too. If we pick up, like, a Suit Up, for example, we'll definitely want to play Fizz. Ooh.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Backup Teemo sounds great.
Don't blink or you'll miss me.
That's super unfortunate.
Let me at him.
Can you improve perfection? Rise, metal brethren.
So probably aftershocking this next turn.
Disengaged.
We'll see if they open attacks here or not. I feel like they should.
The party has arrived.
Alright, that's great for us. Would not be surprised to see Fizz get murdered while we have no mana up here.
No way.
We'll still get to keep Teemo either way, though, so that seems fine for us. Sweet, we got that with Fizz alive. Is excellent for us. Zap sounds lovely, too.
Hey, Zap. Need a hand?
Can't say no to Fizz.
Maybe it's wrong to play this in order to hold up Spell Force to protect this, but we'll get to play this to trigger and make this elusive.
So cute to go.
Safety disengaged. Join
I think I'm going to offer this trade if they don't play anything else out here. If they play like a 4-3, I probably won't offer to trade, but offering to trade this for their champion seems reasonable at this point. They're just stunning that deal.
system upgrade.
And then in a roundabout way, we kind of have 11 points of damage in our hand. So like they're going to 12, and then this is plus 11. Between 8 and 3. If they don't open attacks next turn, we get to deploy Cask Salesman to have blockers with the caustic casks, which is great.
Let's boogie.
Just set the tone of the turn here. And then next turn, we'll get to bank this mana going into next turn, and we'll be able to double Rising Spell Force with pick a card left over to protect Fizz. Give him the old gauntlet of power here. That's the line, right? It's just like double Spell Force, hope they can't kill Fizz twice. Oh, you know what? With him gaining an extra attack from leveling, I could have saved that other Spell Force, right? Got him! Yep, Dark. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we're like always mulliganing Burblefish and Suit Up in this deck. The rest of these kind of seem fine. This seems like a great trick in case they have Sharp Sight to try and block our stuff. Darn it, Suit Up. I want to draw you on 2, not mulligan into you.
I'll burn for what I've done.
I guess we just bin this to Poro Cannon here. I think I'd rather keep Burblefish than Suit Up.
And sneaky. I like it. Furry and sneaky. I like it.
This smells like Sharp Sight, right? Do I just pass? I'm gonna pass.
No prey, no pay.
It's hard to get rich.
Damage. Definitely just racing here. We get to play this next turn and then Spell Force through their Sharp Sight.
Gotta go with the flow.
My opponent's deck tends to play 3 copies of the card Sharp Sight, which gives their unit +2/+2 and allows it to block an elusive unit till end of turn.
Never know what hit 'em.
And I have Rising Spell Force in my hand, which means if they have Sharp Sight down the line, I can play around it with this card. I did give up 3 points of damage to do that. So we'll see if that hurts me in my ability to race this game. I think with these especially, I'm going to be able to race them regardless. Stop it. Go read the card if I said the wrong word. Riposte, sure. Probably dead to this murdering my stuff at this point.
Love ya.
I guess this is 8-11 in hand. This isn't leveling quite yet.
Let's get to it.
So this is 8, 10, 13. Not quite lethal yet. One point short, right? Yeah, and it could have definitely been wrong to play around the Sharp Sight on turn 1 there. If I had attacked into the Sharp Sight on turn 2, I would have been able to present lethal that turn if they didn't have another Sharp Sight. Nah, attacking with just the Poros there is super bad, Roto Bagel. You either attack with everything or attack with nothing. I think attacking with nothing, there's a chance that playing around the Sharp Sight was wrong, because Sharp Sight's going to get me at some point. But attacking with just 2 is definitely the worst of all the choices, the worst of all the options.
Prepared for anything. Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the rules. Get it? Too cute to go.
The more we learn,
You're right. I did not play to the 2% out of them drawing a mushroom. I instead conceded rather than wasting your time.
the tracks.
No, I was one damage short. I had 9. I had 6 and 3. I could have played triple Spell Force and put them to 1.
Let me at
I think we Fizz into suit up here. Crack them for 4.
Bask in
No
our
Plaza here is good for us. Nyax, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Their Zap is good. Get to go a little bit wide. Zap also fishes up some spells to make Burblefish cheaper, which is nice.
The strength of the sun and my faith of
Hey, Zap.
They'd only been hit by Teemo once because I skipped my attack on turn 2 Innuendo.
Forge ahead!
Hey, Zap. Need a hand?
Can't say no to Fizz.
Iterative improvement with the zaps is also pretty cute. It's actually pretty good with this too, right? Get to make a bunch of cheap burble fishes. How badly do I want to lose to single combat?
Let's do this. You're bored.
Let's just get aggressive here. They have Hush. They have Hush. Yeah, this is fine. So they have a window to kill Fizz here, but we're still pushing 8 damage. This is why we didn't put the +4 attack on Fizz.
Daylight star will rule the skies.
Their elusive blocker here is real good for them.
First one's free.
The hour is mine.
I think we do this and Mystic Shot our own cast cure so that way their lifesteal doesn't get to connect.
No refund.
No refunds. I mean, iterative Golden Sister. Is that good? What if I iterative this? So I have 8 total mana here. I can play pick a card on pick a card. That makes this cost 2. Then that's 3, 4, 5. And then after I improvement, the copy will cost 1. Right? So I do this. This goes to 2. And then we burble fish. And then I can improvement the burble fish and play the improvement for 1. They'll block the 4/2. They'll go to 3.
Daylight warms the
Yeah,
heart
jailbreak's
like-
free, but is it useful to play? I guess this could technically roll another elusive idiot. Sure. It's a free point. Man, it's a shame we don't have 1 more mana, huh? We could make that vulnerable and kill them if we did.
Through the coral. Ha!
No further. Our bond.
Alright, so single combat or concerted strike in our future? Nope. Okay, sick.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
Whale poop.
Humanity is obsolete.
Blinding daylight.
Maybe you need a closer look.
Where do the green cards come from? They are fleeting cards that we drew because we played Pick a Card last turn. Pick a Card. Pick a Card has us draw 3 fleeting cards.
Oh boy, here I go! Prepared for anything.
I think we hold on to suit up for next turn, so I have a burst speed way to make Fizz elusive here. This is actually a good drop because it gives me another burst speed card to protect Fizz with.
Covered.
Sharp Sight is bad for us here.
Believe or burn.
Nah, I'm not a game designer, Mount Everett. It's not the part of playing games that I enjoy. I enjoy playing games, not building them. I mean, to be fair, getting a champion spoiled today was a surprise. What would champion? Aphelios, along with the roadmap, was spoiled today. You can find my review up on my highlights channel now. Yeah, I enjoy deck building. Deck building is very different than designing cards, though. This is a good pickup. What's the iterative improvement? Probably the best hit for Zap here. Generate us some more elusive attackers for next turn that are lethal. We also need to get out of this turn without dying. He could peel us a Mystic Shot or a Get Excited too, is accurate. Just have lethal here.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Hey, Zap. Through the hand.
Can't say no to Fizz.
Alright, pick a card's also not terrible.
Daylight star will rule the skies.
It's pretty good. So again, pick a card, puts that card back into my deck that I just selected. And then I get to draw 3 extra cards next turn, which is great.
Gotcha in my sights.
You can't do this. We live here.
I think I just block everything so I don't randomly die to 2/2 spells here. Obviously, this gives them a chance to kill some of my elusive with things like Pale Cascade, but I don't want to die myself. It's fine, we technically still have a lethal open attacks here, even if we draw a bunch of bricks. So if all 4 of our draws are bad next turn, we still have 6 attack. 7 attack with Teemo here. They're hoping to roll Equinox here.
Think they can see me?
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
Yeah, there's an Equinox. They're not dead to opens anymore. Need to draw something. I think those constitute something. So, they're dead. Nice cosmic space dragon.
I created it. He's magnificent.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. One cosmic space dragon or the swarm of burbly fish, chat.
The way.
Come on, I got my money on the burbly fish. Burble fish and Zap paired with iterative improvement are really sweet. Yeah, the fact that we beat Double Sisters there was super impressive. Big agree. Easy full mulligan here, looking for our 1-mana elusive things to start. Sand's really bad. Got 2 draws at elusives. Bones the third. Good afternoon. Almost afternoon.
Oh, you're all so cute.
Hey, Femi, thanks for the 16 months. Happy New Year to you too.
I am superior life form.
There's always like an 8-punch Pablo.
Safety disengaged.
8-punch Pablo, chat. He's coming for you.
Hey, right. Where are you off to?
We're all family here.
Suit him up, move him out. Do.
A win streak.
We'll play the old Zap this turn.
Like a fish in water.
Maybe play the Ignition with the spell mana here. Get the trigger working towards Burblefish down.
Through the coral.
Not interested in trading this for either of these.
I'm still good to scrap.
Prime and ready.
Prime and ready.
Get to the gun show. Safety disengaged.
Get the attack with this. I might be interested in trading here.
Should have stayed home, pal.
And they're not interested in that trade.
You off to?
Oh, I think that's great for me. Yeah, I definitely want to keep my elusives alive.
Gotta go with the flow.
They're just trying not to burn mana. Their hand must be real bad here. Okay, so I probably don't have time to Aftershock this game, right? I mean, I don't have time to use Cast Salesman. All the blocker stuff might be, so I'm gonna be going pretty wide with the Poro Cannon. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this. There is not a Teemo Fizz deck on my website, Dirty Digits.
I am unbinged.
Two, 4, 5, 12. This is technically lethal. They obviously play Hush and Guiding Touch, so there's a good chance they don't die here, but either way, the hit's real big. And then them using a Hush to ultimately kill a 1-1 here is a good exchange for us. So, the reason why we spell force the baby one was to play around Hush there like that. They're gonna get Kench to start eating stuff, but they're nowhere near killing us, and like, I've got plenty of elusives and damage to push here, right? You got it. How does burblefish taste, Kench? Is it delicious? Is it everything you've ever wanted and so much more? No blocks. Yeah.
Deadly paths, just another day in dark.
Boo! Broadback protector. Boo! Boo! This troll.
I'm sure there's something for my taste.
All right, they're going to 0. Press OK and see if they do anything. Survey says. I could have killed Tom to get the fish back. That's a good thought. Again, spell forcing the weaker one, so if they Hush, I still push the most damage. We beat Hush here still with Get Excited. Yeah, you spin them tires. Many ways to eat the Reese's, yep. This build seems sweet. There's a lot of different iterations of elusive aggro that seem competitive in this format. Bilge, Chargin. This one feels pretty reasonable too. I'm gonna keep Poro Cannon, mulligan the rest of these. This gives me a guaranteed turn 1 play, which is nice.
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the roses.
They're Hush decks. I don't know that I want to jam suit up here. I'm supposed to do that before I attack. Kinda missed damage there. We'll want to get this down ASAP so we can start ticking down these burble fishes. Alright, so this is a Hush, right? That worked out really well for the home team there. I think we just open on attacks here. Whee! I think we played this out. Oh gosh, and they tapped out again, so we get to murder their Zoe here? Was it a 3 for 1? It was technically a 2 for 3, right? Because I had to discard a card to get excited. Oh no! Look at the way they massacred my boy, chat. My poor little daring Poro. Grimmelden, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Join me if you want to live.
I think I'm holding on to this for now. Until we find one of our cheaper elusives. Like, I don't think upgrading this to a 4th point of attack is very good. You notice you're blocked on my Twitter and you're not sure why. I occasionally do what I refer to as chain blocking, which is when someone tweets something obnoxious at me, instead of just blocking the person that tweeted the obnoxious thing at me, I also block people that liked their tweet.
Perfection.
Feel free to post a link to your Twitter account in chat and I'll unblock you. I always unblock people upon request the first time. I block aggressively, but I also unblock aggressively.
Hours.
2.5 hours? How's school going today, bud? Your class is going well?
Ow. You can get big, Daddy. You can eat good big game, right?
We're okay. Maybe a little above average. Oh no, they're healing.
Okay.
One's the third. Alright, I've got that noted. I will unblock you after I'm done streaming. I don't have Twitter logged in on my work computer because it's distracting.
And what? We got another one, right? We don't swap like that. Oh, he went.
This is pretty good. We get a free burble fish, and then the burble fish gives us something that we don't mind rummaging away. Huh. Now, do I rummage this turn, or do I ignition and hold? I think I hold the rummage for next turn in case I draw something worse.
What? Something worse.
Sometimes there's bad cards in your deck, and you want to rummage through them.
Spilled
Why?
paint is just accidental art.
What happened to let them?
I think this is worse than our average draw at this point. Nice, nice. Burbly fish.
Oh, believe it.
Nimbly whip the tricksters.
Because what we told, okay? Oh, up. But okay? Because we got one bit, and that one guy. He just that.
You're very loud, child. I think I just say okay and then pick a card here. I could get really aggressive and rummage here, but I think that's not correct to do. I'm not in danger of dying next turn, I don't think. That's fine. They're down to 3 points here, though. We're racing the opponent. Sweet, and there's a lethal get excited. There's a zap.
And you remember what to use. If you mark those.
We do have a lot of monsters, you're right. You're my favorite monster, though. Are you a monster? No, you're not.
It's one of the spectacular.
I don't know. If I asked your mother, what would she say? Would she say you're a monster?
But I don't keep my butt on the moon. Doing right. I am. We will withdraw.
Sweet.
Right, we won. Right?
We did win. Yep. V stands for victory. ATZ Anderson, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. For those that are new to the stream, this is...
Bed.
I am occasionally. I don't know about the best, but... This is Jacob. He is my oldest son. There's Jacob, and then how many siblings do you have? How many other kids are there? Siblings is a big word. How many other kids are there in our family? There are 3 kids in our family. That's right. Jacob and Declan and Haley. All right, Quinn, Misfortune. I think we're mulliganing.
2 boy kids.
Okay, this is a great drop. Mind Meld is definitely not a card we want in the opener. Hey, have fun, bud. Don't be late for your next class. Listen for your mom. We are currently experiencing remote learning like much of the world. It's going, if I'm being completely honest, remote learning is going better than I expected it to be going. At this point.
Reporting in. Let's go ahead.
Double trouble. Sure. You got it. Well, we know they don't have Plaza in hand then, right? If they had Plaza, they wouldn't have played that. Wow, what is in their hand? It must be real bad, huh?
Keep up, keep up.
You started without me.
Really? Huh? You think I'm clapping this? So, like, mixed feels on that sharp sight there. That sharp sight was gonna get us at some point regardless, so...
Let's get to it.
You can't do this.
I think I have to be a little defensive at this point. I don't know, blocking could be when we start losing though too. I don't have anything good to iterative now. Nailed it.
Go with the flow.
Nagakaguru's guide us.
With mushrooms.
Dangerous waters.
Like a fish in water.
This is our way.
Yeah, maybe that's better.
We live here. Why are you here? Idiots!
So the attack with everything, I have to block two things to not die here. Can I possibly push lethal next turn? I could iterative this. I think I need to pick a card here and hope to find a bunch of burble fishes. I think is the line to victory here.
Get rich.
If we bind burble fishes with iterative improvement and spell force, we might be okay here. I mean, okay. Does that do it? If they're on nothing, that does it, right?
Prepared for anything.
Oh yeah, I technically spent 1 mana I didn't have to spend here, right? And then there's Burblefish games with the Pika cards are like really kind of gasoline. Just like we went from 3 elusive power with 7 mana, we added 10 elusive power to the board that turn. Like that's really pretty impressive. Iterative improvement with Burblefish. Yeah. Is really strong. I have a 1-drop. I'm gonna mulligan this because it's kind of low quality cards against their deck that's gonna murder our stuff. Pick a card's actually pretty good here. Lets us generate some card advantage, which is nice.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
I guess we'll do this since we drew it. Push in for 3 here.
I can do this.
Ukuruki's interesting. It would imply that there's something more aggressive than some of the other more mid-rangey Ezreal Draven builds.
Don't mind me. Better run.
I'm just passing here. Read.
Reporting in. Gotta go with the flow.
Another static shock. Just a mystic shot, sure.
Signing off. Let's do this.
If I pick a carding next turn, or is it too early for that? I'm gonna have 5 mana. I think it might be too early for that. We'll pick a card going into our next turn. Yeah, Burblefish is only at 5.
Finds better this side of the sun.
Light the fuse.
Maybe you need a closer look.
I think I'm okay with that, right? We're gonna be playing a bunch of elusive things.
Time to go.
Well, I was hoping for a bunch of cheaper spells. None of those are those, or that. I think we're supposed to get excited rather than spell force here, because they're pretty likely to be able to interact with my board. Another static shock here would be gross. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this, because I think if they had another piece of interaction, they would have played it already. So if they have like another Death Sand or Mystic Shot here, I'm going to be pretty sad. We're going to go digging for it. Yep. Yeah, I don't know that we recovered from that. Mind Meld looking pretty garbo here so far. I guess that's not strictly true. This could maybe let us punk them out. Alright.
Check me out. Don't blink or you'll miss me.
That's gotta be lethal with these, right?
Don't mind me.
You can't do this.
Keep my health total as high as possible here. Morning Bile. Really surprised they didn't attack with this.
Keep up, keep up.
If this had been a playable card instead of a 7-mana card, we might have gotten out of this. Lil Punk, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Charge.
I have not played Zoe Karma on stream. Hidden Flame, no. It's towards the top of the deck queue, though, so I imagine we'll be getting to it sometime soon.
Obstacle, meet gauntlet.
So far, this deck's felt super reasonable, but Mind Meld seems like an unnecessary card net. Cask Salesman has also been like, I'm not really sure what this card is doing. I guess it technically lets you block things, but it's like not a spell. I guess it can be useful when racing in some situations. The other elusives we're not playing. It's meant to play Cask into Mind Meld. You'd align to cast Mind Meld, right? That doesn't do anything, though. Like, they had plenty of blockers. You know, I don't really need to go wide. I'd just rather have more elusive things. Yeah, it seems like a lot of mana. Honestly, Nyandroid might be playable here. We have created cards from Wiggly and Ballistic Bot and Iterative Improvement and Poro Cannon. Runeterra posted a roadmap today. You can find my review of the roadmap along with a review of the champion that they spoiled with it on my Highlights YouTube channel now. This deck's gotta be awful against Go Hard, right? We're just like, mono things that die to taking 1 damage, and suit up is our only way we have to technically protect them. We don't have things like Pale Cascade and other tools that keep our elusives alive. Nah, I want to see how bad it is.
Let's get to it.
Honestly, I think I just trade off and keep my life total high.
Flesh was weak.
Get Ballistic Bot going to start taking down Burblefish.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
Also, provides us with fodder for this if they don't open attack here. I think if they do open attack here, we block the spider and clap her.
I don't change fate, but I can see.
Okay, and with that play, we can just Mystic Shot this now. And then probably play Ignition this turn as well. Take the 2 from this, just tick up our, or tick down our Burblefish. Feels like a way we could win this is playing a bunch of Burblefish iterative improvements in a single turn.
I'm ready. Rise, noble brethren.
A game. Go on then.
Can you improve perfection?
Okay.
System upgrade.
Start with this. There's the improvement to maybe start working towards this end game goal.
Join me if you want to live.
I mean, nobody here in this chat has said anything unreasonable about Go Hard. The opponent's deck is objectively the best deck in the format by play rate and win rate, and it will almost assuredly be getting nerfs in the next patch.
Another day in the field.
You can say those things and acknowledge that they're true without being salty about the deck. It's just describing reality. The next patch is next week. We should get patch notes on Tuesday.
Deal me in. Something for all of you.
Push on without me.
Okay, and like, this Teemo getting a hit in here is a big deal. Their deck draws a lot of cards, so these mushrooms could add up to meaningful points of damage here over the course of this game. Portal Cannon's nice. They just bend a whale, which is sweet. Yeah, that too, Violet Journey. Like, I don't enjoy the play patterns of this card, so I'm largely not playing against it. It doesn't make you salty. It makes you very reasonable. Games are something people should play for fun. So, like, if you're not having fun, you should stop playing or play in a different way for sure. Sure. Is that a sure, or do I want to get excited this? It kind of feels like their hand's kind of clunky right now. I'm gonna try and kill this. Deny them the card draw.
There's plenty of killing left. Can you improve perfection?
And sneaky. I like it.
They notably don't have Ruination mana available this turn. So unless they have another whale, we shouldn't have to worry about getting swept here, which is nice. I'm going to lead on the 1/1s that they know about, encouraging them to play any copies of Gohard that they already have before we deploy the Burblefish.
And sneaky. I like it.
Yeah, off of whale mana now as well is notable. Our opponent hasn't played a single Gohard, so or that's not something that's on our mind in terms of pack the bags. We're going to add 7 more elusive power to the board here.
Safety disengaged.
All right, I got 4 points of reach in my hand here. Yeah, honestly, with like the puff caps and the parlay and the aftershock, we might have lethal here if they don't have a way to kill any of these. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure we just put puff caps into their deck here before they start drawing. Yeah. Yup.
Throw freeze.
System
Okie doke. So they're drawing 4 cards next turn and leveling Twisted Fate, and then Twisted Fate's gonna play something and draw a 5th card.
ready.
Then we've got 4 points of damage here.
Looks like I'm
So
on
the
a
deck we're playing a counter to Gohard. No, I would actually assume the deck we're playing has a very bad matchup against Gohard. Because we have a lot of things with 1 toughness and not a lot of ways to protect them. It feels comparable, Hidden Flame. I think if you like elusive aggro, it's worth checking this out for something that's slightly different.
If I kill you, I don't fortune.
soak it in.
Safety disengaged.
So, Twisted Fate's about to red card us. Yeah, the fact that we're 7 turns into this game and my opponent hasn't played a copy of Gohard is, like, real good for us, and it's a big part of why we're in this game.
I'm a people person.
Hopefully this is lethal. Afternoon, Quintivus. There's the mushrooms, chat. There's the mushrooms.
Never underestimate the power of the Scout's Code.
The Scout's Code. When it comes to having fun, it's a tough time. I need smaller spurts of it than any game I've played prior, and I can't really figure out why that could be. I think Runeterra is harder to play for long, extended periods of time because the number of decisions you make in every game of Runeterra are a lot higher than you make in basically any other card game I've ever played. As someone who's done, you know, 24-hour Magic the Gathering streams and played a ton of Hearthstone and a lot of other card games, the amount of tired to exhausted I feel playing a bunch of Runeterra at a high level is much, much more so than playing those other games. I think we're just full mulliganing here, looking for cheap elusives to start. I get to see how Android does here. The number of meaningful decisions you make turn to turn in most games of Magic and Hearthstone tend to be very low. Whereas in Runeterra, you also frequently get to take mental breaks in those games compared to Runeterra where you're constantly making decisions because you're playing every single turn. Runeterra also really rewards you for thinking ahead because of the way the spell mana system works. So like your plays early impacts your plays late. It's very easy to multitask while playing Magic the Gathering because a lot of the time when you're playing a game like Magic, you're just waiting for your opponent to take their turn. Whereas in Runeterra, you generally speaking very rarely have points where you don't have priority. Pretty sure we're just trading here. And if they go to like Pale Cascade this, I can give it the clap in response.
Paint is just accidental art.
Flee with 2 E's.
Well, I mean, there's also nothing wrong with not enjoying grinding ranked. The majority of, like, there's a reason why a number of the features that are being added to Runeterra this year are not competitive grinder features, right? Things like the co-op lab experience and stuff like that. Card games are a great casual experience. You don't need to be, while there's plenty of people that do enjoy, you know, getting to the top of the ladder and their LP is all that they care about, right? Like, there's a reason why this stream here and the way I play Runeterra has a more casual focus. Playing a range of decks and mixing and matching different quantities of cards, I find much more enjoyable personally than getting to rank whatever is at the top of the ladder. Bramax, thanks for the follow. My LP determines how valuable I am as a human being. I mean, I feel like there's some people that feel that way, and I feel bad for them.
Horror of progress. The Meowsterpiece.
Meowsterpiece. Wow, that's really good. So... that triggers those, and then I have this or this. I have 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 here in play at the moment. Poro cannon of their own, that's adorable. Listen, chat, you've got to rise up. Just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry. And we're not throwing away our shot. Alright, this Get Excited is not guaranteed to be lethal here, right? Like, they have guiding touches and they have star shapings. So, we're gonna try and pop this off. They have denies and stuff, too. It's not guaranteed to be lethals.
You won't scratch me.
Do I leave myself dead to a Pale Cascade? Probably not, right?
You can't do this.
The champion mastery system will give you cosmetics for the specific champions that you are getting mastery points with, Wellborn. I think I just play this here, and then open attacks next turn.
None are lost. They only await the dawn.
Can you improve perfection?
Sweet. That 6 felt really good. I like it. I like it. I need to run to the restroom really quick. When I get back, we're gonna play 1 or 2 more with this before we call it an afternoon on Runeterra. Don't go anywhere. We got some more card games coming up. The Niandroids were super sweet in that last game. I'm glad we made that change. Much better than Casting Salesman would have been. Having more elusive threats felt good. Play into our primary game plan. I think we're just on the full mulligan in here. Probably Plaza Undying, if I had to venture a guess. I think I'm ditching Zap here.
The chains, they never stop.
Alright, so that's gonna change how we sequence because otherwise it becomes more expensive if I don't play it right away here. And then next turn we play the cat out, I think, and then we'll go Ballistic Bot Poro the following turn. Afternoon, Mike. Do I need to block this 3-2 in order to win this race? Wow, they're just not attacking with the deal. That's so good for us.
I rise anew. Strike now.
Runeterra has done a stellar job of turning something in terms of limited board space from a thing that you need to make the game playable on mobile elegantly into a strategical value thing. Speaking of mobile, did folks that were here from the Magic times see that they're putting Magic Arena into open beta? Or closed beta? They're putting Arena into beta on mobile at the end of the month. So I'm interested to see what kind of a disaster that ends up being.
Target you, pets. That light. Behold me now, hairless apes.
Hairless apes. Oh. Ha. Okay, Blackspear was not a card I was playing around there.
Wounds too long.
That's really great. Alright, so... we're definitely just doing this turn, right?
The color is off. Their treat will be doomed.
Do I play this turn or do I get Ballistic Bot going? I think I want to get Ballistic Bot going. Gosh, if I hadn't blocked that 1/1 and got my other cat Blackspear, we'd be in such an insane spot here. Definitely should have just taken the one there. I mean, to be fair, Violet Journey, that's not what you just said there isn't strictly true. The processor that they listed was in top-end smartphones as old as 2018. So it's not strictly the newest, but it still has pretty beefy spec requirements.
System upgrade.
Ooh.
Slow down, will you?
That's brutal.
Unleash new potential.
Rise, metal brethren. Here we go.
Yeah, if I lose this game, it will definitely be because I blocked with that cat. I didn't need to. I think we easily win this game if I had a second cat to be attacking with. Might still win on the back of Burblefish, Improvement, and Bot here. We'll see. Alright, one of your finest pick-a-cards, please, deck. Or the Strike. I have a lot of cards that are lethal next turn.
System upgrade.
Alright, I mean, that's technically lethal, right?
Oh boy, here I go!
Here I go. I guess I kind of had lethal with just the Ignition here, too. This was not a 9-ball to attack with. No, I only had 9 elusive. 7, 8, 9.
So many years, so much misery.
Fizz is leveling off of this.
Fire kill nothing.
So even if they have like a single combat here, I get to kill them with Ignition next turn. Sometimes these decks play the 1 mana drain 4 from one of their units, so that would save them here, right? Okay, so they're going to 1 and they're dead to Ignition next turn. Yeah, I just don't have a way to gain life, so they're dead to our Ignition next turn. Fiora Shen. I definitely want to keep Poro Canister and a mulligan the rest of these looking for other cheaper elusives. Let me at him. I want to play. Then we'll get to Ballistic Bot on 2 here, he said before drawing suit up. I think I just open attacks here because Fiora plus Sharp Sight is like a total disaster for me if they have those two. And they haven't made any plays yet, so Fiora plus Sharp Sight seems likely. Yeah, suit up's like a high variance version of pick a card, basically. Huh? We just let this happen, right? They have a rally here, we could be in trouble. I guess they have rally plus a way to protect Fiora. Protect House Laurel. Was that a good draw? If so, why? Please explain. Oh no! I think we've died, chat. I think we've died. We need to pick a card, chat.
Soldiers, to me.
No blocks. Go to 14.
Don't hold back.
Does iterative improvement get us a 5/5? It does not. It does not say exact copy. Alright, I mean, we technically have lethal here, right? You've got to rise up! Do. Rise up, Ordos! Rise up! Ooh, that's so good. Alright, I like to end on a high note. That feels like a pretty high note. How many elusive aggro decks? We're gonna play some Witcher 3, Bob, but I'm done with Runeterra. So we're done with card games for the morning, but we're gonna play some Witcher 3 after this, after we do a wrap. I was super happy with this overall. Cutting the Cask Salesman's and the Mind Meld from the top end, those cards were just like too cute. Now Android felt very reasonable in the couple of games that we played there. The one card I'm actually not super sold on in this deck is Aftershock. I think this card is reasonable in general, but in a more aggressively slanted deck like this, 4 mana for 3 damage at slow speed is kind of mediocre. So I think the one thing I would change after having played this in this set is I'd go down to 1 Aftershock and go up a second to a third Mystic Shot. Yeah, I like having burn, but reach that's more efficient sounds good. Having an overall lower curve in our deck makes our pick a card really nice as well. So I think overall, yeah, let me get this updated on my decks page there for folks that want to grab the last iteration of it. And obviously it'll be up on my YouTube channel as well. For folks that are new to the stream, thanks for dropping in today. I really appreciate it. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be done with Runeterra stuff for the day. But I do also do some single player story driven stuff here as well. So we've got a Witcher 3 playthrough that I'm about 30 hours into on my first playthrough of that game. We're about to find Ciri from the Isle of Mists, I believe it was, and do some battle in that game. But I'll be back with more Runeterra. I think I'm going to take tomorrow morning off, and then I'm going to be back on Sunday morning with some more Runeterra. I got to talk to my boss and find out what my schedule is going to look like for next week. At the absolute latest, I'll be back on Monday of next week. I'm generally here 5 to 6 days during the week doing Runeterra stuff. I also have a couple of YouTube channels, one of which posts highlight videos every single day of the week of different sweet decks. I tend to play 2 to 4 different Runeterra decks most days here, and the best of those decks end up on my highlights channel. I also have my just youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland that posts absolutely everything that I stream, so all of the decks that I post go up there, but not all of them are great, so there's some winners and losers in there. So if you want concise Runeterra content that's just the best of the decks that I play, my highlights channel is definitely for you. There's also that roadmap command in the stream title, so they posted a Runeterra roadmap for the year, as well as spoiled a new champion card. So my reactions to the roadmap, as well as a review with thoughts on the newly spoiled champion, are up on my highlights channel now. I'm going to go ahead and shift gears over to some Witcher 3, though, for the rest of today's segment.